That's clean. That's crisp. Mm-hmm. Clean and crisp. Let's get it started that way, why don't we? Here we go. What's on the shelf? Boom. Yes, sir. Rush the ridges of these evergreen forest. Yep. And we're having a good time now. Today's episode of the pod. Oh, it's a goodie. Look at it. All right. Now, present, space. Oh, yeah. I keep saying formless. What does that mean? I was on the bike the other day at the gym. I was pedaling along. Reading a book at the gym. Put the book down, kind of get into it, take a deep breath. At the gym, feel a little sweat roll down my back. At the gym, reading a book on a bike. And I started noticing, I looked out over the gym floor and I started noticing the space in between the equipment. Let me say that again. I was noticing the space between the gym equipment. Have you ever noticed space? Have you ever noticed where there's an absence of form? And I just became hyper aware almost of the space that was, I looked out to the gym floor and I saw that giant fan spinning. I was latched onto one blade with my eye, watching it. Space. Formless space. Oh, I look down. I'm taking up space. Is there space inside me? Is there any? Am I? So I just became kind of tapped into the presence in the now. And I'm noticing the gaps in my day. I'm noticing that there's very, very 1 to 2 second gaps throughout my day where I just become aware. And I'll just stop for just a few seconds, stop thinking, refrain from blinking to become more alert, notice maybe a breath, and just take 2 seconds to just not have any thoughts. Just stare. Oh yeah, I am. Oh yeah, we do remember that. So what's going to happen today? Well, today on the show notes, we're going to talk about this little trip to Telluride. We're going to talk about some snow, talk about weather. We're going to talk about the state of the country, and then we're going to talk about a new drop and friendship. Yep, that's what it says. Okay. So it's snowing. It's not that big of a deal. It is full. It does feel like winter weather is in full swing here in Colorado. That's for sure. I was texting my parents and my family back home. They have sunny skies, 60-degree weather. It is a blizzard out here. I can't even see, I can't even see the street. Where to go? Snow. Let's jump down to friendship real quick. So my good friend, Zay, by the time this comes out, hopefully you're here, dude. But he's driving out here today. I believe it's Thursday. Dark green color. Yep, that checks out. It is Thursday, and he's driving here. He's moving here from Kentucky, and the weather, the snow, is impeding his entire moving entourage. They've got to stop and get a hotel because so much snow, too much snowfall. Isn't that crazy that the weather can just, Mother Nature can say, hey. I know you had these plans, but Mother Nature can do that. So Mother Nature, yep. So me and my fiance Age, we went to Telluride. It was a great time. I kind of shared a lot about my memories on Instagram with this caption. And it almost is like I re-summarize the experience in that caption, so I don't even feel like I have much to add. I don't want to be too redundant on the content I create or the information I release. I'm realizing that it's important that I come up with new information. New. Dark green. dark, well, shades. The Ray-Bans are dark green. You can't even tell. Okay. And whatever. The shelf drink is also dark green. Whatever. Themes. Whatever. Okay, the state of the country. This is all I'm going to say in terms of the state of the country, the political temperature, or whatever you call it. It's sad to realize how divided people can be, and that's such a trite thing to point out. But it's very important that we learn how to be cooperative and understanding and respectful of people who have different opinions than us. And even though one political party may have won, one may have lost, this person represents that, blah, blah, blah. We are all small energy fields, and we're all coexisting. We're all more alike than we are different. And let's use our technology. Let's use our resources. Let's just break it down to first principles. What do we want as Americans? Just what should free people have? We should have ability to freely speak. Free speech. I'm all about free speech. I think we should be allowed to speak, and for us to be able to what am I trying to say here? Free speech is important because when you say what you think, you can get feedback, you can get direct criticism of your ideas, and that helps you think better. So free speech, nothing's going to come out perfect. You're allowed to think an idea that other people think is wrong. You should be able to act out the process of revealing that idea, which is language, which is speech. You should be allowed to act it out, and we must protect that other people can respond in a good or bad way to your speech. Speech should be able to interact with more speech to help navigate the landscape of moral right and wrong. Good ideas from bad ideas. How do we separate the wheat from the chaff? Free speech. So I like free speech. What else? I think people should have I don't even want to get into these topics because these are topics that they're so divisive, and I want to be very careful not to be divisive. I want people to come together, and I think people should be allowed to say what their ideas are. And I'm very open-minded to if other people have different perspective and ideas about how we should conduct our country. And if people want to feel heartbroken and sad and disappointed about the outcome of the election, you're allowed to feel that. You're allowed to feel that. I'll give you the space to feel that because I would hope that you would give me the space to feel how I feel if the roles were reversed. Common decency, empathy, green. Okay, beepin. So we've talked about the state of the country. Now to more important matters, a silly little trap song I'm going to drop with a silly little video. Beepin. I've been beeping on this. I've been bouncing this beepin song that I've been working on, and it's pretty much done. The audio's done, and the video's pretty much done. I'm pretty much just waiting for December. I don't know why I want to put it out in December. I think it'd be fun to have like a future date where it's like it drops, and you kind of give people a heads up, like, hey, this is gonna drop, this day. I should drop it. I should come up with a date. Wish I had a calendar. Oh yeah, I do. Hands are full. Man, are you guys doing great? I'm glad you're joining me for the podcast. Glad you're tapping into the keys. Here we go. When should I drop this beepin' song? I'll drop it on a Tuesday. December 3rd. I don't know why I'm thinking December 3rd, but I'll drop it on a Tuesday, December 3rd. There it is. Beepin, December 3rd. Yep. We decided that. Have you guys ever done podcast? There's this little voice in my head when I make podcasts that's judging me. Let me be, man. Let me be. Thinking you're not being entertaining enough. You're not being coherent enough. You're not being, compassionate enough. You're not being creative enough. Who is that? So I downloaded X because I knew the election was coming up. And X it just seems so relevant and so pertinent right now as a technology, as a platform. But there's trade-offs to X, to being an X user. If I have X on my phone, there's benefits to it. There's more information. There's more ability to go straight to source material. There's more ability to reference. There's more current news / current event, dark green matter information is allowed to come through this technology. But something about X, it just seems like such a much more hostile place for information. I get recommended a lot of like street fights. And I guess the algorithm has picked up that they're captivating to me because I watch them. I've seen, I don't know why, but over having X on my phone the last week, I probably watched 100 just fist fights in the street. And I don't even, before I know it, I'm like, I'm getting recommended content that is negative. That's bad for me. It like lingers. The information that you expose yourself to, the content that you expose yourself to, it lingers in your mind. And I've definitely not acted out on it, but I've felt more hostile just in my baseline being because I'm watching a bunch of street fight videos on X. Like having, what are they called? My recall today is not great. Intrusive thoughts. So I'm at the gym the other day. I'm back on the bike where I was talking about earlier. I'm reading. I'm like taking in this Eckhart Tolle information about love and peace and presence. And I look over to my right and there's this big burly guy with big beard, a fat head. Thick head on this guy. Plump looking fella. And he's got a flat bill on backwards. And on the side it says, "Go F yourself." But it was spelled out the cuss word. You guys know the one. And I'm sitting there biking and I'm like, I get really ramped up and angry. I'm like, who does this guy think he is? Like, to just be out in public and have this on your hat, just whoever reads it, go F yourself. Like, I guarantee if you walk up to that guy and confront him, hey, what's your hat say? And then, you just go from there maybe, I guess. But it's like I could walk up to him and say what's on his hat, just say it to him. I wanted to just say it to him. I'm like, wait, what? Whoa, why? Whoa. Why? Why do I have this inclination? Is it because I've been watching more street fight, classroom brawls, fist fighting on X? Is it because, why is this affecting me? Why is this psychologically ramping me up? I don't know. So anyways, I probably will end up withdrawing from X as just a thing that I scroll on throughout my day because it's the political times are over. Hopefully there's it does feel like not calm before the storm, but it feels like it might be ramping up, which is scary. So maybe even all the more reason just to delete it. And just, man, we're going into winter. And it's like, man, maybe it's time to just kind of hibernate away. Maybe it's time to grow out the beard and kind of go into the mountains and just be and kind of zoom out from the world just for a second and take in this beautiful nature, this beautiful earth, the good that is here and present and available at all times through presence, through awareness, through the spirit. Maybe it's that time. Maybe.